So good evening everybody. Flying Crow decided to do a layout update, and also on one of my last videos somebody asked to do an overview of the layout, which I'm going to do that too. But I haven't done a layout update in a while, so I've got probably a lot of things to show you. So let's get started. I'm going to start by going down this aisle, and then I'm going to come back and show you a couple things. This is Walther's Railway Express Agency factory, but I have turned it into a building that was similar down in Alexandria, Louisiana, called American Compress and Warehouse Company. So this is one of the buildings that I have been working on, and as you can see, I had to these are all decals, so I had to do a black stripe and then a white stripes as a border, all decals, and then each of those letters is an individual letter that I had to cut out. So it was quite a job trying to get them all spaced out so they looked right. So that's what I've been working on. I've been working on this. I'm actually going to, you can see the inside is nothing right now, but I'm going to build an interior for it because there's a lot of windows in it and you're going to be able to see a lot. So I decided I'm going to build the interior. I've got a staircase that I'm going to get from Shapeways that works on this end, so that's why these windows look funny, because it's actually should be a staircase in there. So I'm going to have a stairwell, staircase, and then some offices on the second and third floor, and then build kind of a, I'm going to cut some of these doors open and build a storage interior in there. So if you don't know what a compress company is, it's actually a place that handles cotton and baling and things like that. So that's American Compress. Anyway, so another little building I did, which when I did my track plan I didn't think about it, but it's the scale house there. And so the scale house is sitting there with the back to you, so you're not going to be able to see the weight inside. I'm going to lift it off because there's actually a scale inside the scale house. See? So I'm going to put that back on. You won't be able to see it, but oh well, it's in there. I'll know it's in there. And I'll probably, put a light over the door or something like that. I got some lights from Evans Designs that I'm going to, some outside lights. And I'll probably also do that on the outside doors for the warehouse there. All right, so next, I have a gentleman in my model railroad club that likes to build buildings, and he offered to take some of my kits, because I have about 20 kits yet that I haven't assembled to buildings, and I just don't know, it'd be another year before I got to him. So he likes to build buildings, and he said, well, I'll take 3 or 4 of them from you. That was so nice of him. And here's the first one he did. This is a Walther's freight house. So I'm just going to turn around. I mean, he built them and weathered them and everything. So just did a fantastic job on them too. I mean, a fantastic job. So that's the Walther's freight house he built for me. The other thing, he built this trackside oil dealer. Did the same thing, built it, weathered it. All in the same time it took me to almost finish one building. He did 4. So 4 kits. So, but this is he did another beautiful job on it. You can see the tanks and everything, and the gas pumps out in front. I mean, it's just incredible, the job that he did on these buildings. And like I said, weathered them and everything. They're just beautiful. So it's really, it really makes the layout come alive when you start adding buildings to it. And there's one, there's the third one he did. This is kind of I think this is supposed to be a brick storage place. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. He's got some barrels sitting inside to load. So these are just kind of on this spur on the outside of the yard, and so I'm going to have some industries here right in the yard to switch. So if you can see just adding buildings, how much of a difference it makes to the layout. So the other thing he built was this engine facility down here. And you know, this is a pretty big structure, so he built this for me too. So I'm gonna have to I had him build it because of where it was going to sit on the layout. I had him build it with one door permanently closed, and so that's how he built it for me. And then I'm going to have 2 tracks going to this. So this would originally, of course, been a 3-track building, but it's I had him build it like this, and he another fantastic job, built and weathered and everything. I mean, that was a big kit too, lots of windows and things like that. So just incredible. So beautiful kit. So I just want to thank him publicly, you know, that he for doing this for me. I would have never, I couldn't in a million years have done them this quickly and done such a fantastic job on them. So all right, next. So I wanted to thank, you know, the challenges that we've been doing have been just an incredible, you know, a favor to us all, because it helped, at least me, it helped me discover a lot of issues. And the biggest issue I had with track work, and I want to especially thank 2 people for their challenges, and that was Jack, doing switching moves, and also Wilmer. So both of their challenges really helped. You know, Wilmer had running a train. I ran it as far as I could. So those 2 challenges really helped me find a lot of problems. And the one major problem, and I finally just said, you know what, I'm tearing up the track and redoing it. And that was this curve down here at the end, because it's a 32-inch radius curve. I mean, it should have easily handled anything, but it wasn't. Things were derailing all the time and coming uncoupled. And so what I did is I just tore everything up and laid brand new track. I laid brand new cork roadbed and new track in this curve. So now it's a lot more stable. It's a smoother curve. The radius is about 33 inches once all was said and done. So so I did that. I relayed this, and I ran several trains over it forwards and backwards. Not one derailment, not one uncoupling. So thanks to those challenges, they really helped. And I really appreciated that. So that's an overview of the yard. Alexandria Yard here is what I'm calling this. So I'm pretending like this is Alexandria, Louisiana. And going around the curve. And then after it does that, this small marshalling yard's for the paper mill. So I'm going to have a paper mill all the way down at that end where all my cars and engines are sitting. That's where the paper mill is going to be. But this is the marshalling yard for the paper mill itself. And then I have 2 tracks going back, and these 2 tracks are going to have wood chip loaders on them, so they're going to be able to load wood chip cars. So for the paper mill. So it's going to be I mean, the whole complex of the paper mill basically is taking up this whole side of the layout. So, and I've got 4 tracks here going to the mill itself. You know, paper mills get all kinds of cars. They get box cars, they get wood chip hoppers, tank cars. So it's a good opportunity for a lot of switching. You know, and maybe at some point on the layout, this would be just one operator just switching and working the paper mill. So, because this is designed to operate, that's what it's designed to do. So at this end, these 2 tracks, if you excuse the mess, are going into a cement plant. So I'm going to have a cement plant on this side. I'm probably just going to separate the paper mill and the cement plant by a fence or something like that. So, but that's what's going to be on this side, cement plant. So if I keep coming this way, here are 2 tracks, and this is going to be, these are each 7-car tracks, so 14 cars total. And this is going to be an oil refinery. So the refinery is going to have those, those loading platforms right in the middle in between the 2 tracks. So, and if you notice, I've said this before, but I have, what I've done on my sidings here is gone down to N-scale siding, or N-scale cork road bed on the sidings. If you'll notice, on a real railroad, the sidings are usually set lower than the main line. So what I did is I put cork road bed here that's N-scale, and of course this is HO scale, so they sit at different levels. Of course, with N-scale you have to use 3 pieces of cork instead of just 2. So I just put 1 in the middle and then 2 on either side of it. And it makes about, from here down to where it fully lowers to here, it's about a 1% grade. So shouldn't be any problem for any cars or engines. And then of course when you get to the end here, it goes back up. And there's the flex track I have left. Just waiting on micro engineering. They're behind in their production, so I need 7 switches, and then I'll have all of my track I need to complete the layout. So here's another curve at this end, comes out over here. I have this track here. This is going to be a town or a small city or something. So what I'm going to do here, I've just got a straight run. Don't have any switching in this area. It's all just going to be city, small city or town scene. So, and I probably do it last because I want to, see what it looks like, get everything set up, and then kind of build stuff around it. So here's the bridge we're working on Track Tuesday. It's just sitting in there, so I haven't finished it, of course, but I do want to kind of finish putting this all in on Track Tuesday. You can see, and I'll explain more about how I put the decals and the weathering on the concrete abutments. So there's going to be some plaster or something that's going to be a road bed. So this spacer of cork that I had to put here won't see once I get everything put in. You won't see it. So, because I'm going to have the roadway come up to the level of the cork there. So there's the track. Comes down through the town. Nothing. Then when we get up here, we're going to go off onto. We're going to have another siding here. This is as far as I could go because I have no turnouts. I have, waiting on micro engineering to get ahead of their production. I hope somebody from micro engineering is listening to this video. So, in this area over here that has nothing, there's going to be a plywood plant. There's going to be a grain elevator all the way at the end. And then coming back here, I'm going to have some a sand company that loads sand, and then also some probably a lime company as well on the same spur. So here you can see at this end how it's going to look. Back out a little bit. That's what it's going to look like. So there's the sand and limestone plywood plant, and then here's the grain elevator over here. And then when it comes around, one major thing I got done, I got my lift up section in here, so you can see it's on 3 sturdy hinges, I'm not going to fold it down because it's heavy and I've got a camera in one hand, but it folds down and lands on this 3/16 piece of steel here, which ain't going anywhere. So seems to level out pretty well when I do put it down, so I'm happy with it. I can that's going to be a river. That whole lift up section is going to be a river and a bridge and all, so that's what's going to be there. And then that circles right back into the yard, and that's it. That's an overview of the layout. So I hope everybody liked it, and I hope everybody enjoyed the update. See what I have in the works and see what's coming soon. So y'all have a good evening, and I will talk to you later.